Well, hey folks, here I am in Redmond, Washington. So this is where we really need to start questioning what Elon Musk truly is. There's Starlink, SpaceX, all just what? Like within 30 minutes drive of the tag classroom that both me and my own brother went to, where my uncle and my aunt basically have a huge influence over the Department of Justice Cybercrime Division, where my brother, just on the other side of this, ran the National Security Directorate. So, should we continue to buy the narrative that this genius from South Africa named Elon runs this, runs that, runs X, boring tunnel, Neuralink? What else? How many companies can one person truly run? Do you guys believe this narrative anymore? See, at some point, America, we're going to have to just like wake up and realize you have to be a fucking idiot to believe that anything connected to Elon Musk is true. It is all lore. It is all there to hide the real identities of the people that actually own this, and they are the Leon Mafia. This is our stomping ground. This is where my whole family got their power infrastructure from. This is where they got all the access to the intelligence infrastructure, the Department of Energy infrastructure. It all started in Washington State. But are we to believe that this just happens to be the location that this random South African guy decided to like relocate from South Africa and hike across the mountains and go to Vancouver? And then he finds his way eventually here after dropping out of college and goes, oh, it's got to be Redmond. Really, guys? Seriously? Who wants to continue believing this? It's costing America its reputation. Do you know what morons we look like for accepting this narrative and trying to sell it to the rest of the world? Because guess what? The rest of the world knows exactly what SpaceX is doing. They know exactly what Starlink is doing. So those of you who would like an education, let me explain something to you. Starlink does not just transmit Ka and Ku band. I did some research, and you can look this up on Wikipedia. When SpaceX launches a satellite for Starlink, those satellites carry a few things, I'm told. Ka band transmitters, Ku band transmitters. What is Ka and Ku band? Go look it up on the internet. Pretty much the same frequencies that you'll find on 5G towers. Let's forget about that for a second. Okay? There's another band that's being transmitted from Starlink that I don't see on any of their equipment on the dishes or anything, and it's called E-band. E-band runs between 60 to 90 gigahertz. Now let's talk about another device that runs pretty close to 90 gigahertz. It's called Raytheon's active denial system. It's a heat ray, and it goes about 95 gigahertz. Oh, so let me get this straight, Elon. You're not commercially offering E-band service as far as I know, yet SpaceX is launching things up in the sky that can transmit 90 gigahertz down here, 60 to 90 gigahertz. And if you do research, you'll know that 90 gigahertz is capable of transmitting a pulsed heat ray that can start objects on fire. That can actually start objects on fire. It can heat up the skin cells, but if it's a different type of object like paper or something like that, or dry, it's enough heat to generate to actually start a fire. I can imagine if you added radon gas for a fuel source instead of regular energy, wow, you could probably set all kinds of things on fire from an E-band active denial system that was told was launched for Starlink, but maybe SpaceX uses it for something else, especially if some of the guys that are behind the fake narratives that started these companies, all of simulations that we now accept as reality, started at Science Applications International Corporation. And a lot of these companies, I promise you, are not run by some South African guy. He's a buffer, he's a surrogate, he's a puppet for the Leon Mafia. He's just there to sound intelligent for the Leon Mafia. Because you know something, like if it came looking from a guy like me, you might kind of go like, I don't think that guy could run 10 companies. And you'd be right, I couldn't. And neither does the Mafia. They've got a team that your taxpayer dollars pay to enrich their pockets. All of America and a whole bunch of these people that buy into these companies and everything, So as far as like these recent events, as far as like things that have been going on, I'm not saying, I'm just saying. Starlink alleges to only run Ka, Ku band for their communication satellites. So it riddle me this, Riddler. If you're just using Ka and Ku band for the SATCOM, then why is SpaceX also launching E-band satellites in tandem with the Ka and Ku band? I'm sure that there is a communications reason for doing it, but remember, I'm an RF engineer. I spent 20 years in the telecommunications industry, so I can kind of decipher bullshit from reality, you know, better than average, okay? So I'm just gonna tell you something definitively going forward now. This whole narrative surrounding SpaceX and Starlink, if I hadn't made it clear before, it is my personal and sincere belief that these companies were just olive simulations that began with the Leon Mafia at Science Applications International Corporation, and they began integrating all the money laundering and all the, looting other companies, stealing electric car companies, stealing solar concepts, stealing electric concepts that may have actually done something good and turn it into this like posh, luxury, dirty energy form of clean energy. I mean, even the cars really aren't that clean. It's all just like a lot of bogus narratives. Why? When all these things could have actually been something good and actually done what they say, why would they go out of their way to do all these things badly on purpose? Wake up, America, because I'm telling you, people are increasingly figuring out what SpaceX really is. It has a hell of a lot less to do with that SATCOM, and it has a lot more to do with that E-band, right? But even if you don't think that that's true, let's just accept these companies aren't run by Musk. They're mostly managed by the National Security Directorate, if you ask me, Battelle, Hanford Nuclear Reservation. That's who's running the show. This is all just cover, corporate cover, to make it seem legit. But this show's about to end. And by the way, this show sucks. It was never that good to begin with, and it was never that realistic. We're shutting it down.